And our project is Smart Aid.
During this pandemic, many businesses and schools are planning to reopen. This can be proven to be really dangerous since the virus can spread easily when there's many people gathering and they're not taking the right precautions.
Our project includes 4 products, including mask detector, social distancing, attendance system, and occupancy tracker. These 4 products are what makes our project unique. And as per times right now, these 4 products are very vital to every school or business that are planning to open. And our product can be flexibly used depending on the needs of each association.
First of all, we will be talking about our mask detection system and how it works. So, to begin with, as proven by many professors from Stanford, MIT, and many other huge colleges, they have shown that just wearing a simple homemade mask, or even one bought from a store, can largely reduce the transmission and receiving a disease like COVID-19 that's easily spread. So what our system does is that it's able to detect a person who is attempting to enter the building, and it will be able to see if they have a mask or not. And if they don't, then an alarm will sound, notifying them that they don't have a mask on and that they can't enter the building. But if they do have a mask on and are taking the correct precautions, the door will automatically open and the person will be allowed in. This is so vital because we need to ensure that every person in the building is taking the most amount of precautions possible, whether that be social distancing like we'll further mention, or right now like masks.
So right now, a person is gonna walk in through this door, and if he's gonna be wearing a mask, and this door should automatically open.
Please wear a face mask to enter.
One of the very first things doctors recommended people practice when the COVID-19 pandemic first hit was to keep a 6 feet distance from each other at all times. Since then, many businesses and stores have attempted to implement this rule in order to keep their clients safe. However, from my experiences, I have seen people break this rule the most. How this happens is that stores and businesses keep 2 pieces of tape 6 feet apart and ask people to stand on them. And there's nobody to monitor to see if the people are actually social distancing. So people can break this rule anytime they want. Our product provides a simple yet really effective way of calculating the distance between each person, and if it's less than 6 feet, an alarm will play, signaling them to return to their 6 feet position. And if they are taking the proper precautions and they are maintaining a 6 feet distance, no alarm will be played and they continue on with their routine normally.
This is a demo for the social distancing detector. There are going to be 2 people in this demo that are going to walk towards each other and they're going to shake their hands, and then that will break the 6 feet distance barrier, which will trigger an alarm. And then they're going to do it one more time, but this time they're going to actually maintain the 6 feet distance and just wave and then get back from the frame.
Please maintain at least a 6 feet social distance between your peers.
So that triggered an alarm, but this time it should not.
Recently, the CDC issued a statement saying that for any public gathering, there has to be a limited amount of people. This means that many businesses and public places will have to keep track of how many people are in a building at once so that they can follow the CDC rule. Our product tracks the person's movements as they enter or exit the building, and it will keep a count of how many people are in the building at a time. If the count exceeds a customizable max occupancy parameter, an alarm will play saying that the max occupancy of the building has been reached and that they cannot enter until the alarm stops playing, which signifies that a person has exited the building. Another thing is that if there are multiple doors where people can enter or exit from, our product can be fitted at each of these doors and the count will be synced together so that even if one person enters through one door and exits through another, the count will still remain the same. Our product has the functionality to provide data so that companies and stores can use data analysis, for example, like how many people enter in at what time. So here is the occupancy tracker demo. What's gonna happen is that we set the max occupancy to be 3 people. So as soon as that threshold is met, it'll start playing a sound. Currently nobody has entered, so first person please. As you can see, it's tracking him here. And then it said enter. Now second person. So it said enter again, it's at 2. Third person.
The max occupancy of the building has been reached.
See, now it's at 3. So now somebody exit.
The max occupancy of the building has been reached.
See, now it said exit and it's at 2 and it's not playing the sound anymore.
Lastly, let's talk about our attendance tracker product. This is very similar to the occupancy tracker, but it does have its own difference. And the main difference is that instead of being able to identify how many people have entered the building, it's able to identify who has entered the building. And we are able to do this by using facial recognition. And this is extremely useful because it allows different companies to detect who has entered and left the building to make sure that if a case of coronavirus does come out, that they know who entered and who left the building so they can help quarantine them and allow for the most safety in the company. Overall, it is similar to the occupancy tracker, and as issued by the government, it does have a limit, but it allows for more personalized, should I say, advice for a company, and so it'll be much more effective depending on what plan you want.
Hello, my name is Abhisar, and now the attendance tracker should say my name and let me in.
Welcome, Abhisar.
Hello, my name is Srinivas. The attendance tracker should now open the door and let me inside.
Welcome, Srinivas.
Since now you know about our product, let's see how we use AI. For our mass detector and our attendance system, we use a model called SVM face recognition model, which was trained with the library scikit-learn. This model helps us identify faces and also help us do special things like face recognition through Python. For our social distancing detector and our occupancy tracker, we use something called an object detector cafe model, which was trained with cafe as the name suggests, and this model helped us identify humans. For our social distancing detector, we did some math where we could find out the distance between 2 people from a 2D plane, and for our occupancy tracker, we tracked the person's movements to recognize if they're moving inside or they're exiting the building. And all of our products in the end use OpenCV, ImUtils, and NumPys and other vision libraries that just help us make our task in Python much easier. And since we were using Raspberry Pi 4s, the Raspberry Pi 4s do not contain enough power to run these type of models straight on it at the inference speed that we require at. So that's why we use something called an Intel Movidius USB stick, which helped us speed up the detections to make the code run much smoother and faster.
Now that you know how our product works, here's how it differs from the others. First of all, there are 4 different aspects of the product itself, which means that the company can decide to choose 1 or even more aspects to keep their people safe. Another factor is that it's much more cost efficient, which makes it much more affordable than the other cameras out there.
Lastly, let's talk about our future vision and what we want to do to our product in the coming weeks or coming months. Of course, we want to enhance the abilities that we've already given our product because even though it's already extremely accurate, there's always going to be room for improvement. Also, we want to add a very basic security system to make this product multi-purpose, so that it's not only used when COVID's going on and that it dies out after COVID's over, but it'll be able to sense commonly known diseases, whether that be simple things like the flu or more serious things that can be listed on the internet. And we also want it to be able to identify certain things like carbon monoxide spills or glass breaking or large things falling suddenly. We want these to be able to be detected so people can ensure safety, whether that be from diseases or whether that be physically from robbers. So overall, our goal is to provide safety and comfort for people and their companies, and we hope to implement these and share these with you in the future. Also, we've gone to our local temple and presented our mask and occupancy ideas, and they've really liked them and even decided to implement them. And they're being in use currently as we speak, so that's actually very impressive. In the future, we're also going to be implementing our social distancing and our facial recognition idea for the temple, so they can find out certain employees that are entering and leaving the building, and ensuring that everyone that enters, whether that be an employee or just a person who wants to come and pray, that they're always staying 6 feet apart and with masks, of course, to ensure the most safety possible. And of course, in the future, we also hope to implement these in churches, offices, or any buildings around the area, so we can ensure everyone's safety to the maximum of our ability. Currently, we have our mask and occupancy detector implemented in our local temple, which shows that this is not just a prototype, but it's a working product and that can be a key factor in times like now. We're looking at local areas like our market basket or our library or other places that are going to be opening up, because as soon as they do open up, they're going to have a large overflow of customers, meaning that our product will be a huge key factor in avoiding the spread of COVID-19, because it does have the ability to detect if people are taking off their masks or if they're not correctly social distancing. And it'll set an alarm alerting them that they're not following the correct safety precautions. This is why our product is so key, and we can show that it's already working because it's implemented in our temple, and we want to go further with it by helping everyone and implementing it in these commonly known and gone places like the library and market basket. To begin with, in the top right hand of your corner, we listed a couple of potential investors that'd be willing to buy our product and produce it in their factories that they already own. And this includes Change Healthcare, Subtle Medical, and a few others. Now, to move on to the actual topic of investing, we've gotten the question many times. What will happen to your product after COVID-19 washes over, if there's a vaccine or some sort of cure comes out, which is actually a very high possibility? And our response is, 2 of our products actually don't even need COVID-19 going on. This includes the occupancy ability and also the ability to use facial recognition to find out certain employees that are entering and leaving the building. So these can be used any time of year, which is why our product will still be useful. On the other hand, with the social distancing and mask detector, this will alter these a little bit, so it's not specifically only for COVID-19, but so it has the ability to detect whether people are having certain ear infections because they're always holding one part of their ear or one part of their body, wherever that be. Or we can use a thermal camera to detect if people have the flu, because a common side effect of that is having a high temperature. So overall, our product won't go to waste, rather it'll only be strengthened after COVID-19 has a new cure found to it. To move on, for potential investors, why should they purchase this product, and what use will it be to certain companies that are trying to open up and will have a large overflow of people? As mentioned before, many companies that are opening up only have stickers and signs that say, please wear your mask, or please keep a 6 feet distance between you and your peers. This is not very interactive, and there's no one updating if anyone's following the rules or breaking them. What our product does is it's able to identify if people are maybe, taking off their mask or maybe not staying 6 feet apart, and actually in real lifetime alerting these people, whether that be they're doing it intentionally or unintentionally. It's just for the safety of the greater public. And at the end of the day, that is our major goal. So overall, our product is very useful to companies. We have potential investors, and it's not like this product will die after COVID-19. Rather, it'll only be strengthened and have more abilities added to it.